All right, week four. Week four, SIEM. I really did think that this was gonna be longer, particularly because the section was like several hours long. But I mean, realistically, there's only like this one challenge. The other challenges are, I mean, one of them's just like a video walkthrough of uh, is it bots? Maybe it's this. Um, Website defacement, right? It's this one. So it's Boss of the SOC version 1, website defacement. And then the other one is ransomware. And they give you 4 hours to go through it. And I think that it took him like 2 hours on his own. So I figured we'd actually do the only thing that was um, a part of like an actual challenge, like the other challenges were, where they have this whole malware page, his website, I suppose. And then maybe we can start going through like some of the Splunk instance or whatever, see what we can answer. But I didn't think that we should like get too caught up and try to like do the entire thing, unless you wanted to. But it just seemed, well, it's a lot of things, and I am not familiar with Splunk. And also, they give people that are familiar with Splunk 4 hours to go through this. So if they assume that it would take them that long, then it'd probably take us a lot longer. Anyway, we can read through this. During a recent system compromise investigation, the Security Operations Center at Esqual, Escalle, iCare discovered at critical oversight the SIEM forwarding agent had never been installed on their corporate website's web server. This mistake left the web server's log data unmonitored. A system administrator managed to extract the Apache access log file from the server and has sent it to you for analysis. Your task is to review the challenge.log file to determine the extent of the compromise, its origin, the attack vector, and the vulnerability that led to the incident. And it's in this location. And I think that I'm already in that location. Challenge as I am. So we can start off. How many total events were logged in the file? So I was gonna do like word count and look for lines. So I'm assuming that's how many logs there are. Granted that everything is on a single line, and I believe that it is. Even though we're seeing it and it kind of looks like it's multiple lines, I think it's just because it's formatting it to the page. So if that's the case, we should see 343. And that is the answer. And then what is the full timestamp of the last event in the file, which we should be able to get with tail. And again, timestamp. So that's that. What are the top 3 IP addresses found within the log file in descending order? So we can cat the log file, pipe that over to find the 3. Well, I guess we need to, okay, so we need to cut the data because we want, if we sort on a space, so a delimiter of space, and then we capture on field 1, we should get the IP addresses, and then we can sort those so that they're in order. We can add the TAC U. Yeah, tap U for unique. What are the top 3 IP addresses found? Wait, maybe we don't want unique. Do we? Probably not, right? Because we want. We get a count with cut. Please. Guess not. Have you already gone through these? No? What is it? Oh, okay. Uh, you know, I feel like I don't know if you've used your 2 hours. It is. It is a long one. I don't know if have you used your 2 hours at work already this week? You did? Yeah. Yeah. I was wondering. I started into the threat intelligence today, and in an hour, I've almost made it through all of it. Like, it's it's pretty short. So let's see. Okay, we're cool because these. We're getting the IP addresses. What are the top three IP addresses found? I'm just. Oh, is there a count function? Should not a count. We can. Which is not ideal. Let's pull up the notes. I want to grep. I wouldn't think that we want to grep for. Okay. We can still sort it, and unique has a count function with tac-c. And then we're returning ones. So anything that returns a one, we can actually grep, but we can do like a don't include with tac-v, and we'll say one. So don't include ones. One. There we go. Okay. Here we go. And then what do they want? In descending order. So we can. Do we sort again? Guess that doesn't matter, huh? So we can. Yeah. So we're catting challenge.log. We're going to pipe that into cut. And we're going to choose delimiter of space, capture field 1, and that returns the IP addresses. Then we're going to sort it, capture the unique, and get the count of each time that it appears. And then to get rid of all of the ones so that it's easier to read, we're just going to use tac-v. So is this how they want it? This. 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 Hmm. Okay. But I suppose so. What is the count of the IP addresses with it's 23? 23. How many different user agent strings are found in the log file? I guess we can just rep for user agent. We'll do tac-i user agent. User agent. let's just scrap it. Get the user agent field. How many different user agent strings are found in the file? Okay, so we can, I guess, do the same thing. We can cut, but we can cut on quotation mark to make it easier, or just make it like cat challenge, and then we'll cut on a. Wish my I messed up my space bar, so sometimes when I depress it, it stays that way. So we're going to cut on a delimiter of double quote, and we're going to take field 2. Those aren't user agents. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want 5. 4, 6. We want 6. And then can we do the same thing where we sort and then send it to unique? We have 3. Mac, Windows NT, and Windows NT. So we have 3. Which user agent sticks out as suspicious? Windows. Widows. What's the whole thing? It does. And then what is the line number of the log event that returned an HTTP status code of 400? So we can do that with grep. And it's the N, I believe, to pull back the line number. And then we should just be able to look for 404. It's 76. Here. 76. What web-based attack can you identify based on the URL query parameters? On this? Oh. Maybe it would be best if we pull up. Let me pull up our sections. I thought I had written them down, but I guess not. I'll just try to go off of memory. So we have the IP address or host name. We have the time. I don't remember what these are, but they also are their own specific fields. I was hoping maybe I had it if I scrolled up, but oh no, I do. Okay. So we have the IP address and then remote user identity, timestamp, the HTTP request, HTTP version. Here's the request, get/admin. Here's the version, HTTP 101. Here's the response. Here's the response length. This I don't have down, and then we have the user agent string. So that's the bits of the log, and these are Apache logs. So that's how an Apache log is formatted. Hopefully that helps to determine like what the user agent actually was, and then this is the error, the response code, the length, and the URL, which is what we're looking for right now. And by URL I mean URL query parameter. So what web-based attack can you identify based on URL query parameters? So when I see this, I think, you know how like, I don't know, maybe like go to a website and it looks like this, and it's like endpoint is file, and then it's like q equals or whatever, like query equals, I don't know, file name, something dumb like that. I think that we can look for something like that, just maybe the question mark. And we do see that. And this is kind of what I expect to see. If we look at these, we can convert. Let's convert this to. Let's URL decode this in CyberChef. I don't know what %2D is. I think this is maybe a double quote. And the reason I think that that's a double quote is because that looks like SQL. What am I looking for? URL decode? Yeah, okay. So what we're seeing here is actually or like this. What it's trying to do is either get an error message out or just make it kind of like equivalent to true. So this is like to end like maybe a where clause like from username where, or I don't know, from table where username is equal to this. And then here is where in the query you like type, your username. And what they're doing is they're saying, okay, I'm going to add in a quote, and then I'm going to comment out the rest of the line, right? So now none of this is valid anymore. So if there's like more after here, it would remove that out. It would just comment all of that out. And then from there, what you can do is, so now that you've ended the query string, you can start doing your own thing where you like union select, and then you can start looking for fields and how like a count of how many there are in it. So if we go back, and we can actually see this happening here. So again, this is the comment. So they're ending the actual query in the search page. The %20 is a space, and then they're union selecting space 1. I actually don't know what that is. Let's just pull it back into this to make it easier. Yeah, there we go. Again, they're closing it out, and then they're union selecting field 1 and field 2 from users, and then they're commenting out the rest. And what they're trying to do now is get like the number of tables, number of rows. Maybe they're trying to get the number of rows in a table. I could be telling you wrong. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. So like, I wish I had a good way to show that off. I probably do. Maybe I can later. But anyway, so what we're seeing is a SQL injection, and we can just type SQLI, or you could type out SQL injection probably. What was the name of the vulnerable URL parameter? Search.php. Search. Q. Okay. And the attacker attempted a number of different SQL injection attacks. Based on other indicators in the event log, what was the full timestamp of the potentially successful attempt? Select null. Union select null %C2 2 3 from admin. Just pull this back again. Okay, so here I think they're searching for the number of, I'm probably getting this wrong, columns. Yeah, probably, I don't know, I can't. And then here they've got the number of columns, so now they're just like union select from the admins table. So I think it's this one. I think it's this middle one, but let's sanity check. We can look at this last one and see if it fits, see if it accepts it. I'm pretty sure it's this middle one though. Just because that's where they're like, okay, this is the correct number of columns in the table because it probably returned true. So it's not that, which was the last one. It is that one. So that is right. The one in the center. And you may not have gone through the full section yet, but they do kind of go into, I'll pull this up, injections. Yeah. So they go through SQL injections so that you can kind of see some bits of it, right? And then we have the URL encoded characters, and cool. Maybe this is exactly what we were looking for. Oh no. Nah, okay, so these are just payloads that you could like push through with Burp Suite, Cato, Perl, GoBuster, FFuff. These are all like fuzzing tools or other, I don't know, other types of other forms of tools that would allow you to do like send large amounts of requests quickly. These are cross-site scripting payloads. We just payload all the things as results. There's also a tool called SQL Map, which automates a lot of this stuff on its own. So like if you get the request, whatever the request is, you actually use the TAC R, the -R option, and enter the request file, and it'll do like variations of brute forcing until it can either like pull down tables, give you like remote code execution depending on the type of database, if it has that kind of like functionality, so on and so forth. It's a really powerful tool, but it sends a lot of traffic and a lot of it can, I don't know, it can break things, I suppose. Sometimes it also like misses a lot of stuff. Some more complex things that you may be able to actively pull out, it would struggle to do. But it's a really great tool. Actually used it recently with a REST server that was vulnerable to SQL injection. So I did like stand up a proxy that would send because I couldn't send the SQL map request to the web server directly. I had to send it to my proxy, and then the proxy sent the correct web request to the vulnerable server, and it was really cool. Anyway, the next bit is actually a challenge lab. I guess it's not really a challenge lab. We could root through this. And I think I actually have it in my notes. Yeah, here's the scenario. After going through the website defacement investigation, you should feel more confident completing the second Boss of the SOC bots scenario, hosted by Splunk. Try to investigate as many questions as you can on your own. As the challenge time decreases, more hints are revealed to you. After the excitement of yesterday, Alice has started to settle into her new job. Sadly, she realizes her new colleagues may not be the crack cybersecurity team that she was led to believe before she joined. Looking through her incident ticketing queue, she notices a critical ticket that was never addressed. Shaking her head, she begins to investigate. Apparently, on August 24th, Bob Smith, using a Windows 10 workstation named We8105 desk, came back to his desk after working out and found his speakers blaring, his desktop image changed, and his files inaccessible. Alice has seen this before, ransomware. After a quick conversation with Bob, Alice determines that Bob found a USB drive in the parking lot earlier in the day, plugged it into his desktop, and opened up a Word document on the USB drive called Miranda Tate Unveiled .m, so a macro-enabled file. With a design size, she begins to dig into the problem. And I bet that we actually see that entire thing here. Yeah, we do. So I could have tried it from here. But either way. Oh, I've not gone through this. Um, I don't know. So I kind of find Splunk to be pretty difficult. So I'll probably have this up on other monitor. Hopefully further up I have some syntax, maybe some Splunk queries. Looks like I have a few. Maybe we'll be able to get some of these done. What was the most likely IP address that this came from? Well, what was the most likely IP address? Oh God, I'm already way over my head with this. Number of hosts. Um, Wayne Corp Inc.local. Splunk 02. And that was his desktop. What was the most likely IP address of on August 16th? Okay. I think we can search. Date and time. For 2016. The operation completed successfully. Drop this down, and hopefully we'll see an IP address. Nope. Host. We pull back. Source IP? Yeah, okay, so there's the IP address. I'm assuming that this is the right answer. And it is! Points penalty. I wonder what that's about. Among the Suricata signature that detected the server malware, which one alerted the fewest number of times? Submit only the signature ID as the answer. Amongst the Suricata signatures. I wonder if we should keep that in there. And if I can just pull back Suricata. Do we need to remove it? What was the question again? Which one alerted the fewer number of times? I don't know how to review rules. Source. See if we can like Splunk. Turn alert of the fewest number of times. Submit the only signature ID. Keep it simple and start your search by looking at only the source type associated with the suricata, and maybe even name of the malware in question. The source type, suricata, and malware name, and the malware in question. Which was called what again? Well, I guess we don't technically know yet, right? We haven't determined what it's actually called. Or do you think maybe they're talking about this macro enabled file? Oh, okay. It's called Cerber. That's right. And the idea is what now? You're that challenge. $87 out of 100. I wonder what that's about. How do you get more points? Suricata signature that detected the server malware. Which one alerted the fewest number of times? Can we sort by? We can do signatures. And what's the fewest number of times? So I guess it's this. At Pro Trojan ransomware. What do we see coming back? Source type, Suricata. Destination. It's an alert on ETH1. A network Trojan was detected. Severity 1. Let's see if this is right. No! Hmm? Oh, oh, oh. Oh, good point. Oh, I don't know. It is punctuation, just 7 digits. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, there it is. Suricata signature ID. Yep. Is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we don't want this then. Yeah. What's next? What fully qualified domain name does the server ransomware attempt to direct the user to at the end of its encryption phase? Not a great question. So what we probably want to look for this again. And we get destination. I saw I saw a destination up there, but I was hoping we could get destination host name. I suppose it doesn't have to be host name. Well, yeah, I guess it does. Never mind. I wonder if we need to set this back to all time. Presets, all time. Host. Keep on coming. Pull back more data. Something else I might need to do is change the host or index. I don't know that, but maybe. Uh, what if these are okay? Uh, index. Search stream DNS data for A queries coming from the infected workstation IP of the data question. Try and narrow down your search period. Wonder how we search for this. Search stream DNS data for A queries. See if this pulls back anything. No, okay. Stream. No. Splunk SIEM DNS. Splunk streams searching DNS queries and reports. Is one of these called stream, maybe? No. I think I have something that pulls out um, source types, which is what we're using to search metadata type equals source type field source type. And there it is. Events. Source type equals stream DNS. Okay. So we want index equals whatever. I guess everything. And please spacebar. Source type. Dun, dun, dun. And source IP equals into 5100. And source is IP. And source IP equals sure thought this would return something. Is it okay? And source underscore IP equals please. Okay, good. Oh, had to be patient. Excellent. So uh, you know the date as well, right? Was the 26th? Wasn't it? Yeah, August 24th, 2016. Okay. Set the time back to 2016. And now that we have a filter, search data for A queries coming from infected workstation IP. The date in question. What does that look like here? Query type. Okay. So I bet we can add that in. And query underscore type is equal to A. Direct the user to. for 08. Is that what it was? Was it 26? Damn it. It's 24th, yeah. If we went since the 23rd, and then we're getting everything for 23rd on. Well, I thought we could search for that and that, query. Let's just see. Query type A. Okay, so there's like a special way to type this. Yeah. And source IP is this query underscore type. I don't understand the brackets. Equals A. And then yeah. And all. Can we search RI query? Maybe that's not how that works. I want these fields to be like expanded, right? Like this specifically, I guess. Well, I guess I can probably look at I thought we could look at destinations, but it's not. Server ransomware attempt to direct. A queries from the infected workstation IP on the date. Question. Try and narrow down your search period. Stream DNS A queries coming from infected workstation IP on the date in question. And 8/24/16. There's got to be like a better way to search for this, but it also has to be one of these, right? Like to Stream DNS. Well, here's the next question. How the hell are you meant to determine um, the encryption phase ends? Query. So this thing, it tries to like recognize patterns, and you can make it less or big, like include, I guess, more data. I'm not sure. It may produce poor patterns. Why go to Microsoft.com? Couldn't. Just happened at the same time. Um, I don't know. It can't kill us to just try one of these. Wrong. One with the we serve. We serve. Correct. Who knows? Maybe none of these are right. Maybe we're not even looking at the right query. Shit. Yeah, okay, awesome. That's a server ransomware attempt to direct a user to at the end of its encryption phase. Well, from the last question, I figured that it was. Oh, you mean time? No, I don't. I mean, actually, maybe we should from the earlier detection of um, like maybe we should have gathered it at the same time. Like when that hit. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe there's a. I thought maybe there's a history, but you know, Control Z works too. Um, Check in onion domain lookup. Hello. Um, that's what these two are. Uh, God, what do I have as a text editor? Not that. It's called text edit. Awesome. We have that time. We have this time. Two fifty, 100, 250, 100. question. I wonder if we can look up I wonder if we can just look up .onion. I mean, .onion. What about all.onion, onion on this date at very least. Okay, fine. That's, um, it's 100. Um, it was source type is equal to stream DNS, and then from there we can look for query. Okay, I guess not. Query type. Query type A. Hmm. Yeah. But it's just like rare values. I don't know. Show me your rare values, dog. Don't visualize the data. Maybe I should. Maybe we should visualize the data. Come back. I don't know how. The thing is, like, you can put this stuff into tables. Maybe we should try that. Table time. Uh, source IP query. Solidarityproximity.org. Only showing up. Show me the data. Time chart table. Um, shell.windows.com. Candy Crush. Um, and not query equal to anything dot Microsoft dot anything. Maybe. WPAD. We just like sit here and we're just like, all right, don't show me this. Don't show me this. Does that how you? I don't know how the hell to like add in additional uh things. Is it like, do I add a comma here, WPAD? No. I just put it back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go back to events. um, oh wait, chart. We do a chart. Done like time and chart. That's fine. I can take chart count by query. Visualize it. Uh, Ew. It's still kind of cool though, right? Sure, this is, we're not familiar with it, but like how, oh yeah, right. We can look at like where things are going. Um, Clearly I don't. Uh-huh. You do have to say and uh 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 like this. Uh this. I'm just gonna parenthesis that thing. That's okay. I don't use the word parenthesis often either. Okay. Awesome. So we also don't want anything.windows.com or whatever dot anything. No, we don't. Let's say .com. Surely not. No. Dog. What? I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hmm. What are you thinking? Okay. Yeah, that could make sense. Or all dot window all. Looks like it. Hey, look at that. Look at this. Look at this. You see this? Server hide. It doesn't, does it? It doesn't. Come on. Come on. I'm just kidding. We're gonna YOLO it. Come on. Yes. Yes. We did it. Oh God. How What's that? Well, what do you think? Do you wanna keep going, or are you cool stopping here? I mean, like this is cool. Maybe we can do this another day, becoming more familiar with it, or I don't know, like maybe when you I don't know. Are you just like looking on my screen and then kind of like going along with me, or okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. That was. I mean, this is cool though, right? Like this on its own, this visualization stuff is so cool. I mean, now we can do what was it? We can do everything. Inquiry is equal to this. I don't know what that gets me anymore. Shows me one query. Can't just be one though, right? Yeah, there. But it is. But it is. Now here's the question. In what world would we know that this is what, like, I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, the server. Yeah, but also, I guess, I mean, not that so much. Uh, I'm thinking more like this bit. Like, what led these people to believe it was end of its this is the at the end of its encryption phase. Like, it's encrypted everything, and now it's sending a request here. How the hell do I know that this is the end of that phase? Well, how do I know that it's the end it's through it's done encrypting? Like, nothing in this query is telling me that. Like, it could have made this request at the beginning of before it began encrypting anything, right? Like, um so that's and here's the thing about that. I think I'm gonna go through and maybe just kind of follow along with him. He has the big long video on it, 2 hours long, where he actually is going through it. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Um, Maybe we can see his stuff. See if we can find with him at the first question. No. No. He has gone through this. Um, and that's where I like watched some of this, and so he mentioned. So I watched where up until he got to before he was starting to answer any questions, he showed that string to like pull back the sources. This one, pipe metadata type equal to source types, pipe fields source type, and that's how we could just find the source types, right? Just even know to like, okay, well this exists. Like that's how we ended up finding stream DNS or whatever. 'Cause I had no idea how to find it before that. But I was kind of hoping to see. So he's setting a time frame. He's setting. So I was saying, yeah, he's setting a range. I just said show me everything after 23. So we could have narrowed it down more. And he's using the index of bots S1. He's going to look for source types. And he's looking through XML event log, Microsoft Sysmon events log. He's looking at the operational Windows event. God. So now he's looking for the host name. He's got, yeah, event log. One event log. Source type, one event log. Host name. Address. What if I can enable sound after the fact? Try video and sound. I was just gonna like play it, some of it. Back a little bit. So the sampling is saying show 1 out of every 1,000 logs. So it's just a way to narrow down even further what you're seeing. Like if there are a bunch of duplicates or whatever, I suppose. Yeah. I think this is question 1. Right. I would think so. I mean, we just like looked at the host name and then, I mean, I guess a host name can have multiple addresses, especially in logs, right? Like we're getting over long periods of time, we're getting different IPs. It's kind of like Snort. You can make where you can set alerts or create alerts out of it. He's looking for Suricata and Cerber. Yeah, and they got that from uh I want to say that there are um files associated with this as well. Screenshots of like the ransomware itself. Uh yeah, so there's like a what is that, like a wallet, I guess. Or maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that was. Oh yeah, it is. Server voicemail.mp3. So I guess we should have seen something there. No idea what that reference guide is. Somewhere warning. Somewhere screenshot. Oh, that must have been the sound that was playing. You're right. So both of these are gone now. In his video, I think he shows them at the very, very, very beginning. So there should be a screenshot. So at very least, maybe you don't know. I mean, I don't know. You're being ransomed. So maybe there's something that's kind of helping you detect that it's this server, you know, malware. Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's branded. Which window am I looking for? There we go. Mm, mhm, mhm. So I guess if you know what you're doing, we were just clicking on like predefined filters on the left. Okay, cool. So he's just gonna copy it, count by Suricata signature ID. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah. So we essentially did the same thing by looking using the events on the left. Yeah, I mean, because it gave us the same thing. Yeah, exactly. But if you knew that you could do this, then it would probably be faster to just, oh, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be faster. Or maybe it would be if there were like a large number, because then you'd have a large, a scrollable. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, very true. Right, because then you can toggle the count on the right. Cool. Hmm. I know that question. Show us how you get the next one. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. I feel like we should at work be adding more, capturing more alerts. Like today, I was trying to track down. Um, I keep on the firewall. I keep getting these in TLM SSP threat detections, and that's because in TLM is being used at all. And I didn't understand that necessarily. I didn't understand that it detected both NTLM v2, v1, and v1. Like I thought it was like only telling me about NTLM v1 or whatever. So, but it's not. It's detecting on all of them. That's why I see so many. But while I was looking, I did find some version one. So where we can't use Kerberos, we should be forcing NTLM v2, but we're not. Um, we're not forcing it, and so downgraded attacks can be performed to move from NTLM v2 to NTLM v1. Um, but anyway, I found out that SolarWinds was one of the things that was using it. So what I ended up doing was just it making the polling in it use Kerberos instead. So now it's much more secure, right? So I guess do that for everything that I've been seeing, which is like LDAC, LDAP, SMB, RPC, and then I've got to narrow it down. There's like some backup server that's also using like anonymous login somehow. Um, which is kind of trippy. I tried to use it, but cannot authenticate to a domain controller anonymously, which is good, or any of the file servers. So anyway, he's looking through what is event log, sysmon, operational for event ID 22. F event ID. Do I have 22? 22 is a DNS event. Yeah. Yeah. He really likes them though. He keeps trying to use them. He must be very familiar with it. That IDs. Oh, he's using Brave. He's using the Brave browser. All right, source type stream DNS. It's got the filter set for the time frame. Hmm. Good. Right. That's what that was our same struggle, except ours was time. It, okay. So he's looking for it in all fields with his. We were trying to narrow it down by source IP. Yeah. Oh no.
Again, we have about 3,000 events returned, and what
Very
I want to look
funny.
for is,
I forgot to
well,
record
let's open
the
up one of these.
audio
So it's
sound.
kind of like we're opening up a packet almost, because
The
these are going to
desktop
be the raw
audio.
kind of
So
queries.
they've only been hearing us talk, which is fine.
And so
There's
what
desktop
I'm looking
audio
for
now.
here is information about the query
Hour and a half
itself,
in.
like like what kind of query was made. Was it you know, a request for, you know, if you think about DNS, it's mapping IP addresses to host names, right? And we're specifically looking for the fully qualified domain name here. And so if you know anything about DNS, we're probably going to be looking for A records. There could be potentially some other records that might be relevant here, but if we're mapping an IP address to a domain name or a friendly, fully qualified domain name, A record is probably going to be the most useful to us. And so,
Because we're mapping IPv4.
maybe not here. We
We're
probably
looking
have a field somewhere. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. So we have query. That looks to be the actual.
Oh, he's
query
looking.
itself.
He's looking for.
Query type. That's what.
Yeah, yeah.
There it
Okay,
is.
so
Yeah.
query type, you can see.
Yeah, we're on the right track.
Different
Pointer
actual
records.
DNS queries.
I don't know
right?
what
So
the
we
hell
have
a
pointer
nimlock.
record queries. We have you know, serve or
What is that? A
quad A,
nimlock
so
record?
Quite a bit of
IPv6. But we're specifically probably most likely in this case. Think about Occam's razor. We're going to be looking for A records. So I just clicked on that to add it automatically to our search. And from here, we've narrowed it down to 46 events, which is not bad, but I'm sure we can figure this out more. Because if we look at one of these, I want to look at what was actually inside this query object here, right?
I
And it
wonder
looks
if
like
he's
we have
going
the actual
to.
results of
the same
what was
thing.
being queried, the actual
I wonder if
DNS
he's
thing,
gonna
right?
say, don't include
And
these.
so this might just be an answer of, you know, putting these in a table so we can visualize them. So what I'll do,
Pre-watched.
let's see.
I did not. I definitely did not. I didn't watch him do any of the questions, and that's because
So I'll run the
my
stats command to count up the results.
my time ended.
And I want to look for that query. There we go.
My hour. I
query
only did
field.
an hour today. I'm gonna do an hour tomorrow.
And so what this is going to do, again, it's going to create a table for us that's going to map the actual result in the query field and the count of,
He's not gonna do it
you know,
though.
how many times it was
He's doing
queried.
something different. That's cool.
And so we could, asking us
Stats
for the,
count by query.
No, it's just asking us for what was it directing to. So we don't actually need to count them up, but again, this gives us a good list of potential candidates. So these were all of the different
Hopefully he doesn't
domain
just
names
see it.
that
Oh,
the
it's right
infected
there.
host
Yeah, it's right there in the
queried
top. Yeah.
throughout
Oh,
our time range here.
man.
And so we'll see
Why
things
wasn't
like
ours at the top?
Microsoft. That's all looking normal. IPinfo.io. Don't really know why an end user would be using that, but it's most likely a benign address. ISATAB, that's pretty standard. Different Windows things here. Bing, that's probably the malware right there. Is Bing.com. No, honestly, I see two potential candidates here. Obviously, this one has Cerber in the name, the actual ransomware variant that we're investigating. And so I'm going to paste that into my notes so I can reference it. And the other one here, solidarityproximate.org. This one, I mean, it doesn't explicitly have malware in the name, but again, that's an interesting domain. And what we might want to do is look into the domain history, look into where it's actually originating from, like what's being hosted there, what is its reputation, that kind of thing. In this case, I don't know if it gets into all of that in the CTF, but what we could do is just copy.
Have you looked at what might be on the exam?
Head into something like the Swiss Army knife for any SOC analyst, virus total, and then just
somebody else's write-up
URL or the domain here.
Yeah, maybe they tell you what they've struggled with, TCM SOC101.
You can see that 12 out of 94 security vendors flagged this URL or this domain as malicious.
Or maybe even it'll tell you what they recommend studying.
Virus vendors here. If you look under details, we can probably see why. No. But if we look at
saw this earlier today actually, but
sometimes
it'll
give you different tags or whatever, so we might actually be able to figure out that it's related to the Cerber ransomware, even though we can see it in the name.
Read all the way through it.
However, with that out of the way, we also
Getting
have
Done with PSAA by TCM.
the other one here. And so
for anybody watching later, I'm going to paste that into our
search for this one. This one looks clean.
Week 4 chat.
That's not always the case, especially again in this. It's kind of hard to do.
You can watch. Look at the Medium article in there.
That's from 8 years ago. So
Getting Done with PSAA by
the domain
TCM.
registrar could have just changed over time.
I'm gonna stop him. Oh shit! I did not mean to do that. I want that page. No, give me that page back.
Structure of the exam tips. SIEM and use bots. His report was 57 pages.
Wow. Well, actually, I say wow, but you got to think about you're probably taking massive amounts of screenshots, and they take up a lot of space. And then oftentimes you also have like a cover, and I don't know what the little white paper is at the end that's just blank, but you might have that. I don't know. I don't know about this, but I had with the penetration test or courses at the end, they spend 15 minutes going over reporting. Is there anything in here? Course wrap up. Next steps, practical SOC analyst associate. And it says, you've made it to the end of the course. Excellent job. Do you feel confident in the methodology and tools we covered throughout the exam? It's time to put everything to the test. Here's the SOC certification. It's beginner level security operation incident response exam. If you want to create some resources to help. As for the exam, to be honest, the best preparation you can do is right here in the SOC101 course. The exam was built entirely on the concept. So here's the wonderful thing about their courses is that they do their best to not include anything that's not in here in their exams. And I mean anything. I've done 4 of their exams so far, and on every occasion, everything I need is inside somewhere. Um, it's just up to me to like have my notes in like a format that's like easily searchable, that's good for me, it works for me, and be familiar with like maybe the concepts or tools, or like know that okay, well it lives here in my notes, or like I could search for keywords, et cetera, and that really helped me to pass the other ones. Granted, these have like different phases, and there are like like a run for FTP, uh, like run these scripts LDAP. You can run these commands with LDAP search, like there are ports and all kinds of things, protocols and blah 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 blah. It's just I imagine it's going to be the same thing. And here's the thing, I'm gonna go through the rest pretty quick, because I really want to get back to, I want to get back to learning offensive stuff. So I'm probably gonna go through the next. I'm gonna try to finish it this weekend, the entire course, and then of course we'll still do the Thursdays and like go through everything, because I think that that'll kind of help sink things in. But my idea is that if I don't take it this weekend, I'll probably take it next weekend, because I just want. I'm ready to start. I'm ready to start attacking things again. Like the eh, yeah, yes, it's time to do. I don't know. This is cool. I like this. I like seeing this. I think that when I start trying to bypass like detections and stuff like that, trying to be quiet, I'm going to use a lot of this to detect myself and kind of prevent me from, I don't know, performing different actions or trying to learn how to be stealthy, because that's like the next big thing, right? Is like, can you bypass EDR? Can you bypass antivirus? Can you bypass smart screens and I don't know, all kinds of other shit? But I think it's just time to get more complex. I think I spend too much time doing more basic things. You know when you want to take it? Like, do you have a a date in mind? Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I, and honestly, I think that if you just spent like a full day, you could finish the whole thing. Um, the question is, I guess, can you stay focused and aware for that long? It's yeah, entertain. And the thing is like, even if you just go through all of this, we're still gonna have the meetings, and still go through it and all that stuff. So it's like it's not like you're gonna not go back and get to do refreshers. It's just that you will at least have gone through it one time and you'll have it in your notes. And I think that that's to me the most important part, because I'm not going to retain all of this. There's no fucking way. But I am going to have very detailed, and I say very detailed by my standards, um, notes, because I mean it's all that I need. It's uh, And as long as I can search, you know, I'm my own Google. Um, it's just exactly, exactly. And it's going to be easily searchable as long as you're using like one of these note-taking apps or whatever. And if not, you're always going to be able to, like, let's say your notes, you forgot to write something down in your notes, but you know that it's in the course somewhere because you've heard it. I mean, you can still go back through the academy and look through while you're doing the test. No one's going to stop you. Not on this test. So, um, it'll be it'll be good. And then I think the sooner the better because oh, there is actually, is this what you just showed us? In the thing, there's a how to pass the PSAA, TCM blog, how to pass the Practical SOC Analyst Associate exam. Yeah, it's in it's in the next steps Practical SOC and Analyst Associate at the very end of the course. I didn't see it, but it's in like the resources. Understand the format, understand the report structure. This I think is the most. When I did the other exams, when I did the first one, which was the PNPT, I was very nervous. I mean, I had like 70 or 90 pages uh, in the report, and because I was trying to add so many screenshots as like proof, because I didn't know like how strict they were going to be, and it turned out as long as you have it on there, you're fine. But I think this is a good read. Everyone, I'm going to pop back into the Discord as well so that you don't have to go search for it if you don't want to. So it's also going to be in week 4. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. See you all in week 5.